how you treat people if somebody will come to you?
Lot of times, Rishabh, more than क्या therapy use कर रहे हैं, we need to provide a safe space for somebody to share what they're going through.
Wow. What do you exactly do in Reiki?
Reiki is known to be a Japanese based therapy which was rediscovered around 100 years back. If I'm feeling anxious, there are body has certain points to bring in more healing for ourselves. I'm actually healing a certain chakra of mine which is called as solar plexus.
What is the bottom line? How someone will know that I am struggling with my mental health and I need to go to a professional to seek some help or advice?
We will start an email by saying, I hope you're doing well, because I'm not interested in knowing what you're doing, how you're feeling actually. I hope all is well. Let me get back to work. We have actually uprooted ourselves from a country. It's like a tree which was being nicely given nutrition, everything for those 30, 40 years. And now we have taken that tree out. And now we try to plant it into a new country. Now the roots have come out. But how many years it will actually take for it to again get rooted? Survival issues come. Getting a job that I love. Getting the basic money sorted. Getting home sorted. Weather adjustment sorted. Getting the basics sorted becomes a part of life. And the fact is, Rishabh, it is okay for you to not feel okay when you get uprooted from your own country and come to a new space.
The only struggling part I'm thinking is because we are never being taught about this. Our parents, they never taught about this. I'm talking from a male perspective. Our condition is like कि मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता.
Because we have been taught to be strong all the time. We have been told, अबे chill करना, अरे ये लेना, अरे सब ठीक हो जाएगा.
दारू पीने ठीक हो जाएगा. आ चल बैठते हैं.
Those 15 days of trying to meditate on my own were the worst 15 days of my life. And मैंने जब ध्यान किया, और मुझे अभी ध्यान की आदत ही नहीं है, मैं फर्स्ट टाइम कर रहा हूँ. I'm doing it for the first time. Nobody is guiding me. So the real issue is going to come in front of me. Like this is a real issue. And if I don't know how to handle it, I may start feeling more anxious and more stressed about it.
Mental health is not a very comfortable topic, especially for men. The reason behind it, because we are never being taught about this. We have no idea why our mental health is very important for the overall functioning and good health of our body. Only due to this reason, I get the opportunity to sit down with Prashant Chawla, who use psychotherapy for the well-being of your mind. In this episode, we have talked so many things, especially the underlying issues, which are the major cause for majority of the mental health issues. I have only one request before we start the episode, that if you found this episode very, very helpful, do share with your friends and family so that it can be helpful for them too. So let's jump into the podcast only with Prashant Chawla at a Lush Podcast, where experience flows. Prashant Chawla, brother, welcome to Lush Podcast.
Thanks, Arish. Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for inviting me here. Well, your channel is beautiful, amazing. And I want to thank you for inviting me in this space.
Thank you very much for that. And even though to kickstart this podcast, I like to appreciate that there is few individuals who actually openly come to the public space and speak about mental health, and you are one of them.
Thank you. But let me tell you something. I feel in last 4 years, last 3 to 5 years, practically after COVID, there are so many of the people out there who are talking about it, who are sharing their experiences, coming out, helping people to the best of their capacity. So I think in last 3 to 4 years, Rishabh, it's opened up. People are talking about it at least. The stigma is still there that, hey, should I talk or not? What will my friends say? That is still there. If we meet in a social group, we don't talk if I'm going to a therapy, or if I'm meeting a counselor.
Indeed.
I may be going through a mental health issue. We still don't. Or what will people judge about me? But the point is the way we go to a family doctor, पेट खराब है या गला खराब है, we go to a family doctor. अगर anxiousness हो रही है, ये गुस्सा आ रहा है, we go to a counselor. The point is to not make it a big deal and going to a professional to seek help. Okay? It's just that.
So, what you exactly do and how your story, because that is the first question which come into my mind, like how you come into this mental health as a practitioner.
I think the journey started with around say 2000, 2001 when I was studying for my CA exams.
Hmm.
Absolutely stressful, studying 16, 18 hours, and too much of pressure. The fact is, Rishabh, nobody in our schools, universities, colleges have taught us how to take care of emotions,
Exactly.
how to take care of stress. If you're getting angry, how do you regulate it? Reflections, sit with yourself, talk to yourself, meditate, do reflection journals. Nobody has taught us this. The first time I remember I got introduced to Reiki in 2001 by one of my aunts in Delhi, and she helped me to understand some. But I think my real journey started after 2007 in Mumbai, um, when I got deeper into my studies for Reiki, for counseling, learning more there. I think that's when the journey started for me to understand what do these terms actually mean,
Hmm.
to start with, and then it went further from there. But I think we all need it because nobody's teaching us this. It's all trial and error. हम अपने आप में ही बात करके देख रहे हैं इसको क्या कर सकते हैं if I'm not feeling okay.
Hmm.
So that's where my journey started actually.
Okay. So, if you have to explain what is mental health to someone who has no idea what is mental health, or this is the first time they're hearing, of course, as you said, from last 4 to 5 years, this is very more prominent into limelight. But what about those folks who have never heard that there is a situation, something called with a mental health? So, how you explain scientifically, number one, and number two, if you have to explain what exactly psychotherapist and how exactly they can help them.
Okay. So I'll get with the first question. Mental health is not a bad term. The way we have physical health, we have mental health. It's just that. Okay. Mental health also includes our emotional health, but that's not the only thing. Our mindset, how are you feeling? How are you going through the day? How's your work going on? How's your health? Uh, if somebody may say that my mental is my mental health okay or good, you can always ask yourself that in a day we have positive and negative feelings going on through the day. If my positive feelings are more than the negative feelings through the day, and if I sit with myself and ask myself, am I happy? Am I doing okay? Am I able to take care of myself? Am I feeling healthier? Okay, I think I'm doing good, not bad. But if my negative feelings are more than these positive feelings, then it's a question. If I'm feeling angrier a lot, if I'm feeling anxious or stressed a lot, or if I'm feeling overwhelmed or overworked for some or the other reason and I don't know how to handle it. When these negative feelings overpower our positivity, our positive feelings, then it means that our mental health may be in question. But why exactly? What do I need to do? For that, you may need to go to either a psychotherapist, or if you want to get a diagnosis done, exactly what is going on, then go to a psychologist. And if you feel it is out of question, you cannot even talk to somebody, right now you need some medication, then you go to a psychiatrist who are doctors who would issue you medications on the basis of your problem.
So all these three things are different, like psychotherapists, these are different.
Absolutely. These are different on the basis of your education, your degrees, diplomas. So psychotherapy or counseling is practiced by people who have completed either a master's or a certain degree in psychotherapy or social work, social service work, or counseling. These are the people who provide psychotherapy on the basis of the regulations. Okay. And psychiatrists are the doctors who are primarily doctors, physicians, but they are mostly concerned with mental health. On the basis of that, they will issue you medication. If you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling extreme anxiousness, how to take care of it. So they issue medication on the basis of that, and they may guide you what you can do to help yourself. So a lot of times they also guide people to go for therapy or a group therapy for that matter to help themselves.
Okay, then let's say somebody will come to you as a to seek help. How you diagnose them on a physiotherapist basis?
I don't diagnose them. Okay. So anybody who's a psychotherapist, they are not into diagnosis.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, if somebody wants to get a formal technical diagnosis done, do I have an anxiety disorder? Am I going through extreme depression? Am I going through borderline personality, bipolar, if I'm going to personality disorder, whatever you're going through, all those diagnoses are done by a psychologist. Having said that, a lot of times we don't need a formal diagnosis every time to take care of our problems. Okay, so if somebody says that, hey, I've been doing all the time okay, but for last 2 years, Prashant, I moved to Canada and I've been feeling more stressed. I've been feeling anxious more and more. So, and a lot of times with a lot of different clinical therapy or spiritual therapy, it can help the person to start feeling better. Okay. Okay. But yet at the same time, if the patterns continue and you're not feeling okay, it is absolutely okay at that point of time for you to go to a psychologist. And there are a lot of times I also refer people to a psychologist if they really feel that things are maybe not so good, and it's good to have a diagnosis done so that you can help yourself in that case. But it depends on case to case.
Right. So how you exactly help, that was because of lack of better words I said diagnosis. So let's say how you treat people if somebody will come to you.
See, over here I work in two different capacities. Okay. As a clinical therapist and as a spiritual therapist. In a spiritual therapy, I use Reiki, I use meditations, and in a clinical therapy, I use different therapies, such as it could be CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. It could be DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy. There are different clinical therapies which could be used. The point is what is needed at that point of time. Lot of times, Rishabh, more than क्या therapy use कर रहे हैं, we need to provide a safe space for somebody to share what they're going through.
Wow.
आज जैसे आप मेरी बात सुन रहे हैं and you're letting me speak, right? You'll be surprised to know that in our relationships out there, we all are just talking. We all are just doing things. Very fair. And how many times if my partner, my parent or my kid is talking and I can leave the phone aside, things aside, and I can just sit and talk. Tell me what's going on with you. Do that at home.
That's a big one, because as you said that, I think if somebody will do that and the other folk or other partner of them, or maybe anyone, they just go into some kind of, they put their guards on, they're like, what is going on? Because we have never talked about it. And you have said very huge thing in very simple words.
I think more than what therapy you need to use, it's good for us to learn different therapies. It's all fine. They will help us. But more than that, what helps is the intention that I'm giving this person a lot of safety in this room or virtually. The person is safe enough to share what they're really going through. What are they feeling? We have all the answers. But a lot of times we just need one space to reflect on them, to share them, sometimes to even write them down, and to know who kya hai, what is going on with me, for me to help myself. So my first job in चाहे मैं spiritual therapy लूँ or a clinical therapy is to create that safe space for people to share and reflect what they're going through. Okay. And what can they do to help themselves? Okay. So that's where it all starts.
Okay. You said two things: spiritual therapy and clinical therapy.
Yeah.
In spiritual therapy, you mentioned two another words. One is Reiki and second is meditation. What is Reiki and what is meditation? Number one. Then in clinical therapy, you mentioned again two words. One is cognitive therapy behavior, I said.
Yes.
And the other one is BTB, I think.
DBT.
DBT. Okay. What is those things?
Sure. So in spiritual therapies, there are various therapies, more than hundreds or thousands. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, nobody knows all of them. We all learn one or two of them for us to dig in deeper, become experts at that. And for me, Reiki entered my life. A lot of times we think we have chosen something, but actually that's not a thing. These energies enter your life because the wavelength is matching, and it will just come and fit into. So this is the energy or a therapy which needs to enter your life, and this is you. And when the right wavelength matches, it just happens. So For me, Reiki happened to me, and meditation was a very beautiful part of Reiki, and that's where my journey with Reiki and meditation dig in deeper, where I started uh, spending years with it, becoming a teacher, doing sessions, workshops, okay, helping people on the basis of that. Yet, to just clarify, there are a lot, many more spiritual therapies which are out there, which are effective, which are amazing, and which a lot of practitioners do practice. Okay. Clinical therapy, there are various therapies again, cognitive behavioral therapy, dialectical behavioral therapy. So there's a CBT and DBT, which are known for decades now, very, very famous. There is IFS, internal family systems. There is narrative therapy, जैसे हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं, the way we are talking. Strength-based therapy, where we can actually recognize our strengths. There is motivational interviewing, where we help to motivate the other person with certain questions. So there are a lot of different therapies. And on the basis of what is needed at that point of time with a client, we can use certain therapies. Okay. Uh, but again, I feel the most important therapy, what I feel is to bring in more, being more human, being compassionate, and giving a space for the other person to share. And for me, the right job becomes to ask the right questions, which helps the person to dig in deeper as to exactly what is the problem, what's going on with me, and what can I do to help myself.
So when you say that,
Mhm.
what do you exactly do in Reiki?
Reiki is known to be a Japanese based therapy, which was rediscovered around 100 years back. Why I'm saying rediscovered? Because it was being discovered and comes from Buddhist manuscripts. And the lineage of that maybe goes to another scriptures. Okay. So this is a touch healing at the start of first level. Like if I have to tell you a simple way, like if I'm feeling anxious, there are body has certain points to bring in more healing for ourselves. If I'm feeling more angry or more anxious for myself, if I just start putting my hand over here, I'm actually healing a certain chakra of mine, which is called as solar plexus. Okay. And by just putting hand, I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying any chanting, any mantra, nothing. I'm bringing in healing for myself. It is so easy. It is so simple that you actually will doubt yourself. How is it possible? How is it possible, Prashant, that you're just putting hand and you're healing yourself? Nothing I need to say to myself, because we're so used to bringing in complication in our life that we don't understand that healing is actually a lot of simplicity, a lot of easiness. And how does it happen? Is when somebody comes to learn Reiki, uh, any Reiki teacher who's been recognized and comes from a lineage, they help the person to get initiated, get attuned, which helps the Reiki as a healing energy to flow. So what is Reiki? Is universal life force energy, a healing energy around us, which is helping us to bring in healing for us. That's what it is. So Reiki may sound like a very different term, but it is just in Japanese and hence it sounds like that. But it is nothing but Rishabh, a healing energy.
So how, Prashant, this is different from meditation?
Meditation is where you are actually setting for yourself. First of all, there are a lot of different meditations, but to give a general meaning and difference from Reiki, in meditation, you are sitting with yourself.
Hmm.
Bringing in that reflection within yourself, whether you close your eyes, not close your eyes, you are thinking about something, you're reflecting on something. So what you're doing in meditation is you're connecting with your higher self within yourself. You're just sitting with yourself with eyes closed. And then you see what you want to feel, what you're not feeling, how was my day, what do I need to do? This is a situation going on in my life. And that concentration, that dhyan can go to any level.
Hmm.
In Reiki, you don't need to concentrate anything. You are taking help of an external energy around you, which is called as Reiki, and you're bringing it through your hands, flowing through your hands, which you learn through a Reiki seminar. Okay. So you attend a 2 days of seminar where you're initiated by a Reiki teacher, which helps that energy, which is around you, a healing energy, to flow through your hands. And whenever you start touching different parts of your body, you're actually bringing in healing in yourself on a physical level, on an emotional level, mental level, on a spiritual level.
Really.
So that's what it is. Okay. Telling you, I cannot answer all the questions just by saying it. It's so magical, it is so experiential that sometimes you need to experience it to know, is it possible?
Hmm.
Because I never believed it till the time I tried it. So a lot of times you need to try it for yourself and say, oh, okay, this is what it is helping me. This is what it is doing to me.
Okay, very fair.
Mm.
So talking about mental health, Prashant, what is the bottom line? How someone will know that I am struggling with my mental health and I need to go to a professional to seek some help or advice?
Again, so Rishabh, if our negative feelings are overpowering our positive feelings on a daily basis, every day on a daily basis, if I ask you, how are you doing? And if you're honest with yourself, first of all, we're not honest now. Like, for example, you ask me, oh, Shambai, how are you doing? I said, I'm good. How are you doing? You said, I'm good. We are trained. We're trained to see that you're doing good only. We even start an email by saying, I hope you're doing well, because I'm not interested in knowing what you're doing, how you're feeling actually. I hope all is well. Let me get back to work. Okay. So the fact is, we are conditioned to say, I'm fine, I'm okay, I'm good. But if we ask ourselves, how am I actually feeling right now? And if the answer comes, I'm not feeling okay, then seeking help would help you. It's as simple as that.
You said it's simple, but it's very deep.
Yeah.
It's very deep because I think it narrowed down to self reflection. And having a self reflection is one of the toughest thing one can do. Talking from my own personal experience. I came here as an immigrant in 2019. Uh, Before that, till my whole life, I never been single in my room. I mean, there is always somebody around me.
Yeah.
You know. Suddenly, I'm here,
Yeah.
and I'm just in my room alone. You know.
Yeah.
So having said that, so I developed this habit eventually with a hard way, but this is not an easy habit to develop.
Oh, yeah.
So even though people who know me very well, they understand that even if there is some things went south, not according to the plan, I try to keep myself calm and I observe and collect much information I can so that later I can reflect.
Yeah.
And eventually that is a lesson learned for me.
Yeah.
You said it's simple, but it's not.
It is not, because we're not used to it. I come from India. I came in 2019. Same. And in India, we are so used to having people around us. I'm not saying for all, but most of us. With family, friends, somebody coming in, out, something is going on. Something is always going on there. Like if I have to meditate there, you actually need to put a doorbell off, shut the room, and tell somebody, please don't disturb me for next half an hour, next 1 hour. So it's a deliberate practice. Over here, we don't understand this. But it is not just self-reflection, Rishabh, but we have actually uprooted ourselves from a country where we were family was there, our ecosystem was there, our network was there, our work was there, our profession was there, our friends were there. R- And when we come here at the age of 20, 30, 40, 50, we are actually uprooting ourselves. It's like a tree which was being nicely given nutrition, everything for those 30, 40 years. And now we have taken that tree out. And now we are trying to plant it into a new country. Now the roots have come out. But how many years it will actually take for it to again get rooted? So what do we need to do? And that's when we start understanding a big shock. We don't understand sometimes. We've got a job and sometimes we don't get a job. We're struggling for the basics. So there is something called as Maslow's need of hierarchy ek hai. And we have studied in our schools also padhte hain. And over here it becomes very big. So Maslow's need jo hai, that's in 5 stages. And the lower stage, lower first 2 stages are survival stages. And top two are self-esteem and self-actualization. I know who I am. I know who my friends are, what my life is, what are the pros and cons of my life. I know what's going on with me. And when we immigrate, we actually move to the bottom 2 layers. Survival issues come. Getting a job that I love. Getting the basic money sorted. Getting home sorted. Weather adjustment sorted. Getting the basics sorted becomes becomes a part of life. Which school are we going to? How are we going to adjust for this? How are we going to travel? or where the bus do I need to get, or my parents are all there, my friends are all there. Making friends, like taking a bottle of wine or a sweets to somebody's house, that can you be my friend? We've never done that. So we have come down to the basics, and it does affect our mental health. We have not understood that part till now. We are still trying to figure out, why am I feeling like this? Why am I not feeling okay? And the fact is, Rishabh, it is okay for you to not feel okay when you get uprooted from your own country and come to a new space. We actually need more care. We actually need friends. We need a community of people with whom I can share how I'm actually feeling. Because I'm not alone in this. There are hundreds and thousands of people who are feeling like this.
The only struggling part I'm thinking is because we are never been taught about this. Our parents, they never taught about this. I'm talking from a male perspective.
Yeah.
Our condition is like कि मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता. That is our conditioning as a man. Even though there are times I struggle to express myself on personal basis. Even right now,
Yeah.
after I'm saying that I have created the habit to self-reflect myself.
Yeah.
When there is an emotional issue, I just shut myself down.
Yeah.
And now you have to also think from that perspective what it takes me to openly say this to you.
Yeah.
So I think the most important thing is nobody is teaching us this.
Yeah.
Now, talking about that, you said in that diagram the last two bottoms are survival things, you know.
Yeah.
As an immigrant, majority of immigrants can agree they have something called survivor mindset mode on.
Yeah.
And because of that mindset, they went into a loop of overthinking.
Yeah.
They overthink too much.
Yeah.
And eventually they're not able to take any actions. You know, it's like called as a thinking paralysis. So what do you think someone who is in this situation, what they can do at a very minimal level, let's say, uplift themselves from there?
Sure. I love the question. Okay. 3 days back, we had a seminar here in this room, and we were talking about the exact same thing. That the mindset is that, hey, I've come as a first generation immigrant. I need to survive. And only my kids, my second generation, will thrive. And we don't understand that that's not entirely true. It's a mindset. हम लोग एक abundance mindset में होते हैं, where have you ever thought, if you were in India and if you're doing well, have you thought before spending money for a fruit, buying an apple, buying a banana, buying an orange, going for grocery shopping? We all have done that. If you were working there, if you had family there, we all have done that since childhood. But over here, if you go to a supermarket and if you buy a blueberry, buy a strawberry, the first thing we check is the price. Because we have not got accustomed to spending $6, $8, $10, buying a blueberry, or what is my income, what is monthly grocery bill. The whole mindset of spending whole day in checking expenses is more than working towards generating a thriving mindset. Thriving mindset is where I'm thinking about, oh, I'm earning this much. Okay, how can I increase this now? Okay, hey, I have enough money. I can actually give this to somebody else, helping somebody. If I want to go for a vacation, okay, this is our vacation money. Let's go for a vacation. We don't think like that. Right now, we are in a survival mode. So first of all, we can start understanding and accepting, Rishabh, that we are in a surviving mode right now. But that doesn't mean I need to spend next 20 years being a survivor. Well, I can thrive in my life. I need, for the time being, yes, I'm going through some things because I'm settling my family and all. But I don't want to be like this for next 10, 20 years of my life. I need to learn how to thrive. I need to shift my focus from being a survivor to somebody who thrives, which means I am happy with the work I'm doing. I love it. I'm earning very good money out of it. I have also understood how I can create more multiple sources of income for myself. I know how I can bring in more happiness and good health for my family. I'm traveling wherever it is needed. I'm connecting with my family members. Just because I'm in Canada to India or any other country doesn't mean I've now forgotten my family also, because they are the source of our happiness. They are one of the sources. So our connection to each and everything is very important to bring in holistic health. So mental health ho, emotional health ho, spiritual health ho, financial health ho. Our holistic health needs to be good needs to be at a good pace for us to take care of ourselves, our family, and thrive in life. So, for us to come together and bringing more self reflection. If you think meditation helps, meditate. If you think going for a therapy or going to a counselor helps, do that. If you think writing a journal helps for you, do that. If you think playing certain sports help you, do that. Whatever you think you need to do to bring in a very good, a strong holistic health and a holistic mindset, do it. It's just that. But yes, we need it. We all need it.
Okay. So, what exactly someone who is overthinking too much in a survival mode can do to, to take care or de-escalate his overthinking?
Uh, See, overthinking is one of the symptoms of deeper problem. We don't know why somebody's overthinking. What's going on actually? Maybe overthinking is because I want to do something, but I don't have time or capacity or funds to do that. So what I'm doing, I'm actually sitting and overthinking all the time,
Hmm.
resulting in more anxiousness, resulting in emotionally I'm dysregulated. I'm feeling maybe more angrier, or maybe I'm feeling extremely sad. It's all different sides of the same coin only.
But everything is intertwined with each other.
Absolutely it is. So hence, you need to come to a space where you can talk. If you're feeling overthinking and if you feel too much is going on, I don't know how to handle this, all of this. In my personal, from my personal experience, what I've realized, what has worked the best always is to have a guide or a mentor who's guiding you, because you save a lot of time. A lot of time. I remember, Rishabh, when I was not feeling good, this was around 2006-7 when my actual real journey started. I was moved to Bombay, and due to some uh, work and relationship issues, I was going through a lot of stress, a lot of different feelings, which I did not have a name to. Was it anxiousness? Was it overwhelmingness? I did not even know these names at that point of time. And at that point of time, there are people who entered my life as guides, as mentor, who helped me to figure out what was going on in me. And it helped me to bring in healing for me. And that healing went on point by point, starting getting better. The point is, we all need that because we are not taught in school, in universities, in the workplaces we go to. Nobody talks about it.
Exactly.
And these are the things we actually need to be concerned about. That when you're feeling overwhelmed, what to do? When you're overthinking, what to do? When you're overthinking, take a paper or a pen, start writing down your thoughts. And ask yourself that in all this overthinking, what is an actionable thing I can do to help myself? Maybe somebody wants to start a business, they don't have time or money to do that. Okay, what can you do right now to help yourself? Maybe can you take one step towards it? Or maybe you can tell yourself, I think 6 months I need to work with what I'm doing. And then after 6 months, I think I can take these 3 steps. Having an actionable plan can help your mind to stop this overthinking, this overwhelmingness. This is one of the things I'm saying. The point is to figure out and talk to somebody who can help you to create a map for you and to know where do you need to go. But पहले बात तो करें. वो बात करना ज़रूरी है. It's just that.
I love the way you answer, Prashant, because I was not expecting this answer. That's why I love it. The reason I'm saying this, because if you ask anybody, hey, I think I'm overthinking too much about anything, then the first point of thing they will say, you know what, start doing meditation. And especially we are living in an era of social media. If you open any social media reel or TikTok video, the first thing you'll say, meditate. That is I think one of the commonest thing anyone can say,
Yeah.
from anywhere to anyone. So do you think that this is kind of a self-diagnosing yourself based on the information available to you?
Yeah.
Do you think self-diagnosing yourself for symptoms you might unaware of is a good thing? Because you mentioned that you should have a guide who will guide you.
I'll ask you a question.
Sure.
If you have a leak in your house, do you want to treat it yourself or call an expert?
It depends.
It depends, right?
It depends.
So if the leak is little bit And if you think you can fix it with putting a fix-it or a caulking gun,
Yes.
it's all good.
Yes.
But if the leak keeps going on, keeps going on, keeps going on, what do you think we should do?
Definitely need to call an expert to change the piping area.
Or to check what is
Exactly.
going on,
Exactly.
right? It's the same thing. So if once and for all you're feeling stress, there's nothing wrong with it. Stress is a part of life and there is healthy stress. If we are doing something challenging, if you're meeting for this, if you have 1 or 2% or 5% of stress about it, how will this podcast go? It's healthier, it's natural, nothing wrong with it. But if the stress is on an everyday is so much so that you're not able to sleep, you're not able to even happily talk to your son or daughter, that your relationship is affecting, that anytime if somebody asks you something, every time you're shouting only. Now, this is when you can ask yourself, I think I should go to somebody and ask what's going on instead of self-diagnosing. Because self-diagnosing, as you said, some people start meditating. I started meditating when I was not feeling okay because I did not want to go to somebody else. I want to try to diagnose it within myself. And trust me, those 15 days of trying to meditate on my own were the worst 15 days of my life.
Really?
Because what is meditation doing? Meditation, what you're doing with meditation with closed eyes is dhyan. So what you're doing with dhyan on your own is digging in deeper into the problem. So I'm feeling stress. I think I'm feeling stress at the level of, for example, 50 out of 100. And मैंने जब ध्यान किया और मुझे अभी ध्यान की आदत ही नहीं है, मैं फर्स्ट टाइम कर रहा हूँ, I'm doing it for the first time, nobody is guiding me. So the real issue is going to come in front of me, like this is a real issue. And if I don't know how to handle it, I may start feeling more anxious and more stressed about it. And that's the reason sometimes people say that when I'm trying to meditate, either I'm not able to concentrate or else I'm having anxiety, my anxiousness is increasing more and more. So meditation is not helping me. No, it's not meditation is not helping you. But it's a new technique. It's a new way of therapy. You may need some guidance around it, and maybe you may not need to start with meditation. Maybe you just need to start with talking it out. Let it out completely. And there are different ways of meditation. If I tell you that I will laugh with you for next 15 minutes and then sit in silence, it's a type of a meditation. If I tell you, you close your eyes and you dance for next 40 minutes and then you sit in silence, it's a type of a meditation. What we have been, हमने जो सीखा है from so-called social media and all is a meditation is where you just sit like this. Everything is so peaceful. It's so nice. No, it may not be. You sit like this and you start feeling more palpitations. You start feeling more anxious. I'm not feeling okay right now. It's natural. So hence we need somebody who can guide us. It's just that. So if you're going to a therapist or somebody who can teach you meditation or any other therapy, everybody is nothing but a plumber who's helping you to fix that leak in your house, which you're not able to fix yourself. It's just that.
Talking about plumber, I think our friends sometimes play a role of a plumber, you know. The reason I'm saying this, because we're talking about stress and anxiety.
Yeah.
If you sit in any Canadian friend circle, the first thing, you know what? Bhag laga le. Go and have some cannabis.
Yeah.
What do you think? Does cannabis really help on a long-term basis? Or if you still do not diagnose it properly, the real issue, the cannabis is going to make it worse?
It all depends on are you looking out for a temporary solution or a permanent solution? So what any kind of drugs are doing could be cannabis or anything, or even alcohol for that matter. Okay. What it is doing is on a temporary level, on a temporary basis, it is numbing that nerve, that link to your brain, which is making you realize that you're stressed about something. So if you are at workplace and you are not happy at workplace, somebody is harassing you, okay, and you are stressed about it, you're not feeling okay about it, you start having anxious attacks about it. You can have cannabis, you can have alcohol, you can have anything you want, and temporarily you may feel better. But what after 10 hours, 12 hours?
Indeed.
You are again going back into the same workplace because you don't know how to manage it, how to handle it. So Yes, you can do that. It's a personal choice. But more than that, if you go to somebody to seek help, you can actually learn and you can actually process what you're feeling, and you can learn how I can take care of myself so that it is not repeated again.
Hmm.
So, if you're looking out for a permanent solution, I would say address it, process it with whatever therapy on the planet, whatever you want to call it, whatever healing method you want to choose, you choose, but process it. Okay. Because processing will help you to 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 open up things and make it clear that, oh, this is the issue, oh, this is what is going on. Okay, I think this is what I can do to help myself right now. Yeah, in this my circumstances, these are the three things I can do to help myself. But when will you know this answer? Not by just having a cannabis or alcohol,
Hmm.
by going to somebody or processing self-reflecting within yourself, you will get this answer. Is the point.
Does stress leads to a panic attack?
It may or may not be, but eventually, yeah, if you're not processing it, and if the stress is unhealthy, where you're feeling stressed throughout the day, and if you don't know how to process it, and if you're not processing the reason for the stress is not the issue, bhai. The reason why am I feeling stress needs to be addressed. And that reason could be sometimes very simple. I'm missing my parents. Somebody has come here at the age of 19. Now they're feeling homesick. They've never got out of their house, their village, their town. They've come in a new country, thousands of miles away. The flight ticket is too expensive for me to go and meet my loved ones, my parents, whatever. And I'm not feeling good about it. I'm crying every day about it.
Eventually leads to stress and eventually leads to panic.
It can start feeling panicky, you can start feeling anxious about it. There is something called as, एक term होती है which is called as window of tolerance.
Hmm.
Okay? Which means window of capacity, window of tolerance. There are different terms, different therapists use for that. So this is a zone. Okay? ये दोनों हाथों के बीच पे is my zone of tolerance, which means मेरी tolerate करने की शक्ति कितनी है. And this can either go less or more depending on our skill set and our experience. Simple example. If somebody has a first kid, they are all over the place. So the kid is crying, this is happening.
This is happening to my sister actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's having a newborn around like 9, almost going to be a year.
Yeah.
And this is what she's doing.
Why? Because the tolerance level in this case scenario, maybe your sister's tolerance level or first parents जो होते हैं उनके tolerance level is this much. And slowly they start learning skill sets. They're talking to 100 more people, videos, podcasts, and they start increasing their tolerance level in this area. When they will have their second or third kid, they will not be feeling that much. They'll be better. They will know how to handle it. To an extent, not everything, but to an extent.
Very true.
So tolerance level from here has increased, right? Now, when we have immigrated here, it's not that we are immigrating the seventh country. No? A lot of people immigrate for the first time.
Indeed.
So, a lot of times we don't know how to manage the tolerance level and we are slowly increasing it. And the same thing can go in different areas of our life. So, we need to see how we can increase this tolerance level in our life, which can help us to take care of ourselves. So, anxiety attack is nothing but when we are feeling stressful, anxious, or angry, or any other emotions above this tolerance level. When I'm feeling that and I'm not processing it, is when I may start feeling those attacks, those palpitations where I'm not feeling okay. I don't know how to describe it, but I'm just not okay right now. And over there, proper guidance, coaching, counseling, Reiki, or any other therapy can help you. It's just that.
My personal experience, I think that also depends on your culture and your willingness to adapt within the circumstances you're in. Am I correct to say that?
To an extent, yeah.
Reason I'm telling you, I'm saying this because as an immigrant, I'm an immigrant here as well. In 2019, the very first thing which I never did is to compare the $1 is equal to 60.
Yeah.
I never did that.
Yeah.
And I think that is the one of the things which everyone should do. Now, as you're explaining this, so I was thinking in my mindset that okay, I was not doing it, so it shows a willingness I'm able to adapt in this culture easily. So I think this is a bigger role as an immigrant, that they are why they are not able to adapt within the Canadian culture.
And there could be various other reasons also with what you're sharing, Rish.
No, that is one of the example which I shared. But my main point is that willingness of adaptability within the circumstances where you are right now. That is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And best part about Canadian culture is that it gives you the freedom to follow your own culture.
True, very true.
And hence, for a lot of people, joining the community groups helps them a lot. Whatever that means for you. Joining maybe religious groups, maybe meeting more people who speak your language, maybe a lot of people who understand your slangs. That helps a lot because I feel at home. I feel a lot of people are not comfortable with English.
Hmm.
And for them, maybe talking in English all the time in itself is a big issue. And they want to talk to somebody in their own language. Oh my God. अरे यार हिंदी में बात कर रहा हूँ बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है. But now we have so much of immigrant population coming from South Asia that for you to find your community group speaking in your language is not a big deal. There are hundreds of groups if you open up Google, hundreds of them, official groups. So anything which helps you to adapt with this new culture, with this new weather, with this new way of living, where everybody is living in their own silos, in their own homes. Nobody comes out. We come from a country where if you go and live in a colony or something, there are hundreds of kids playing, people are outside, you're walking, you're going for walks. Over here, the culture is not that. If I go for a morning walk, I may be there with maybe 5, 6 more people who keep coming here and there. So the culture is like that. Also, the population is less. The weather is like that. Everybody is used to having either heats or ACs on. This is the whole new way of living. And the more we fight towards it, complain towards it is not going to help. True. It's not going to help. I've complained a lot and I know how it was not helping me out. And the day I stopped complaining and I accepted that this is what it is and I need to understand how I need to move around it is when things change for me. So, okay, you want to complain, complain. Please go ahead. But ask yourself, is it helping you or not? Because now you're here. You want to complain? Okay, pick up a flight and go back.
Yeah.
Nobody's stopping you. But it's not going to help you. It's not going to help you to move on. It is not going to help you to move from survival circle. वो जब survival circle में घूम रहे हैं ना, lot of struggle, lot of challenges, lot of complaints. And we can get stuck in that circle for next 1 year, next 10 years, next 40 years of life. Like this. Indeed. Till the time we understand that we need to come out of it. And we need to thrive. I need to have an abundant mindset. I want to live a good life.
And take action towards going out of the survival mindset.
Exactly.
Very true. You said something about stress window, right? So, is there any way someone like me can find out what is my stress window is? Maybe during the time I'm in a situation,
Yeah.
or maybe I'm not in any situation, I'm just thinking and try to figure out what is my stress window. If I try to do that thing,
Yeah.
can we do that?
We can do a very good self-reflection with ourselves. We can actually make 2 lines and we can ask ourselves, what are the different situations where I'm absolutely okay? Like, if it is extreme cold, I'm okay with it. If it is extreme hot, yeah, I'm able to manage it. Or when a new job starts, is it within my tolerance zone? Or when a new boss comes, a new challenge comes, a money crisis comes, or somebody may not be feeling okay back in the country. When am I okay? When am I not okay? And your window of tolerance, जो होती है window of tolerance, your window of capacity, can be increased and decreased. So by your practices, it can increase a lot. Like if you think you are a very good meditator and you regularly meditate, it can help you to increase your window of tolerance. If you are actually a part of some of the healing process or spiritual healing in your life, it can actually increase your window of tolerance. If you play certain sports, for a lot of people, that increases their window of tolerance, keeping yourself physically healthy and happy. Doing what you love. Like, for example, you said, Prashant, I do this podcast because I love to do it. This is one of the things that can increase your window of tolerance.
Hmm.
So when we do things which are helping us to be around emotions, love, happiness, joy, laughter, when we do things which are helping us to connect to these emotions, we are increasing our window of tolerance by having a friend circle with whom we can laugh and we can be ourselves, can help us to increase the window of tolerance. So all these things help us. When we are stressed, a lot of times what we do, eat our favorite food.
Yep.
Because that is helping us to connect to an emotion called as love and happiness. And we are increasing, slowly, we are increasing our window of tolerance. So various things we can do to help ourselves. But every time if you think whatever you're doing is not helping you, seek help.
Hmm.
That's the bottom line. If my stomach is aching and if I've tried the medicines for 2-3 days and if it is not working, what do? I go to a doctor. Bottom line, you seek help. Once you've tried some things, don't wait for 6 months, 1 year till the time you may start having bad thoughts, negative thoughts, suicidal ideations. Why am I living? What's happening in my life? Nothing is good in my life.
Hmm.
Why to wait till you reach the crisis stage? Don't wait till there.
Otherwise, it will lead to panic attacks and or any other kind of mental health issue.
Also, the recovery gets slower if you are coming at the crisis stage. If you're feeling 2 out of 10, means 10 being you're feeling very good. If you're feeling very, very bad, start catching yourself when you start feeling 5 or 6 out of 10.
Hmm.
If you think I'm normally 8 out of 10, but now I'm feeling 5 or 6 out of 10 right now, I think I can seek help. So recovery is faster. With 1-2 months, you start feeling better.
Hmm.
But if you go to somebody when you're feeling 1 or 2 out of 10, not a good stage. Because you may take many months or a year to start feeling better. So seek help whenever you think is the right time now.
Hmm. In my personal life, 5 to 6 months ago, I was in a situation where I have to take a prompt action, and I know what I want, but during that moment of it was a 2 hours window which took me to make the decision which I want to make. I was feeling that I'm having 2 panic attacks within that period of time, and around like 10 a.m. in between 8 to 10 a.m. So at 10 a.m. I took the action which I have to eventually, and after that I haven't felt that. Now, after saying so, my question to you from that my personal experience, if somebody is feeling a panic attack and they figure out that something is going on, their hands are shaking, they are feeling a short breathness, or maybe any other symptoms, can they do something from the Reiki perspective? As you said, Reiki is something you're channeling the outer energy to calm yourself or relax yourself. Can you do something in that particular situation to calm yourself?
If the attack is the way you're describing, where your hands are shaking, your body is palpitating, call 911. And I'm not joking.
Exactly, yes.
Like call, go. Because you don't know what's going on inside. It could be it could be a cardiac arrest for you, for not that matter. We have had cases where youngsters are having it. So, clear message, don't self-diagnose. If you think this is something which is, even if keep happening to you on a often basis or regular basis, or it has happened to you for the first time, go. If you feel you can go to an emergence, go there. If you want to go to a family doctor, go there. Speak to somebody who's a professional who can guide you. Because a lot of times, if I also receive somebody who's coming in the state of palpitation, I don't think the immediate answer for that is Reiki. I would actually tell them, please go to the emergency, get your complete body checkup done. We have had enough researches which show that even when something is not fine physically, any vitamin is low, and any mineral is missing in your body, you're not eating proper food, you're not sleeping well, you're not taking care of your nutrition, you're not exercising well, can lead to mental health issues. So panic attack is not always related to you not being able to make a decision, Bishop. It could be n number of reasons. So I'm it, it may sound like a very funny thing, but I would say every year get your full body checkup done, which actually the government over here, it is included as a part of a package with the family doctor as a part of OHIP. It is covered there. it is as important as taking care of asking yourself, am I just feeling anxious? Like, it's nothing to do with physical health, but I'm just feeling anxious because something is going on in my family, somebody's not well, my job is not going okay. Those could also be the reasons. But we can't judge it. We can't diagnose it ourselves. We are not professionals, sorry, but we're not.
Okay.
So seek help is my point. I'm very clear about it.
So let me rephrase that question.
Hmm.
So instead of panic attack, let's say somebody is feeling stressful. So what they can do from the Reiki point of view, they can recover themselves and get out of the stress.
Okay. First of all, to understand, having regular stress is healthy. There's nothing wrong about it. We need to understand this part. Stress is a part of life, the way happiness is, the way sadness is, the way other emotions are, other feelings are. Okay. But if the stress is so much so that it is impacting your life, impacting your sleep, impacting your health, you're not able to communicate properly, your emotions are going haywire, and you're not feeling okay about it, you've tried to manage it with yourself. If not, you're not able to manage it, then go to a professional. But before that, आप बहुत सारी चीज़ें अपने आप के लिए कर सकते हैं. Okay. If you feel playing a sport helps you, do that. If you feel going for a walk helps you, please do that. If you feel meditation, you have practiced meditation before and it has always helped you, continue with the practice. A lot of times, Rishabh, I've heard this from people that when they move to a new country, the regular habits stop. Like they were practicing meditation, but now they're not doing it. They used to go to gym regularly, but now they're not doing it. So a lot of things people change on the basis of the schedules are different now, the weather is different, the money aspect is there, because of which people leave the routines. Get back to those routines which have always helped you even back in India or whichever country you're coming from, because those routines were working for you. Those practices were working for you. Having one practice, I always say that having one spiritual practice, it helps us to connect with ourselves, connect to our spirit, connect to our deeper self. Eventually helps us to increase even our window of tolerance. So whatever that one practice you would like to start, doing yoga for yourself, meditating with yourself, practicing Reiki or any other spiritual therapy for that matter, have one practice with you always. And it is more preventative than cure. So it's not that you need to practice when you're feeling only anxious or angry. No, practice it on a daily basis. It's like eating food. We eat food on a daily basis, right? To take care of our physical body. We sleep every day to take care of our physical body. The same way, if we can practice one spiritual therapy on an everyday basis to help ourselves, would be amazing.
Okay. So this question I will be asking from my personal bias. Okay.
Okay.
As I explained that earlier in the podcast, during the very beginning of the podcast, that sometimes if there is a situation, I sometime non-cognitively, I suppress my feelings, I shut myself down. And that leads to sometime explosion of the feelings or let's say emotional trigger. So what do you think from that perspective I can do, or someone like me, who are feeling the same thing, they can do in order to improve themselves?
Try not to become dormant volcanoes.
You need to explain a bit.
I'll explain it to you. We all are like volcanoes. We all have it within us. Okay. And inside there is a lot of lava. The lava remains healthier when all we experience different emotions in a day. So we are sometimes experiencing angry, fear, happiness, joy, jealousy, embarrassment, peace. We are experiencing everything and the volcano remains healthy. And we are able to reflect on it that, hey, this is what I'm feeling. And I'm able to healthily express it also wherever it is needed. Okay. Okay. But if I unconsciously stop myself, the way you're saying, I stopped expressing my emotions and I started suppressing them. Same goes for a volcano. Even the volcano has a lava inside, but it has stopped expressing it slowly, slowly. What will happen one day? Lava futega. The volcano will burst. And the same happens for our feelings. So when you see somebody getting madly angry and somebody's like, oh my God, what happened? He was absolutely fine. For last 6 months, he has never expressed what happened to him. Nothing happened to him. The only problem is in last 6 months, he or she may have been trying to be too nice and was not getting a proper channel to reflect and process this anger. what the person is actually not okay with. So there's nothing wrong about it. It's natural to happen when we don't get an outlet. So we just need a mindful outlet. So when you meet group of people with whom you can share your heart out, when you are able to come and talk to somebody who is able to listen to you, when you are able to practice self-reflection within yourself, all of these things help us to process these feelings, process these emotions. And this can help to prevent the volcano to burst. So the point is to practice something or be a part of something, some healing, some holistic therapy, something which helps you to not become this volcano that needs to burst it out. Okay, you will slowly process what's going on and you'll be fine.
From the immigrant perspective, we were talking earlier that in our childhood, nobody talked about it, Eventually, now we are adult and we are carrying forward those legacy non-cognitively, I will say, right? With that behavior, there is a one thing I think majority of the immigrant feels, that is they are never relaxed, even though they are high achievers. In that case, how somebody can self-reflect on themselves? Because when I'm saying never relaxed, even you're achieving good, it will eventually lead to anxiety or stress.
Yeah.
What they can do?
Learn about it, talk about it. It's a new skill. So the point is, Rishabh, even today's, not just our childhood, even today in the school, we don't talk a lot about uh, how to process emotions, how to take care of relationships. Tomorrow, when somebody passes away in your family, your loved ones, how to process all of that, how to grieve, how to support somebody. You have an issue, you have somebody suffering in your family, how to support them, and also how to support yourself. When you're feeling angry or anxious or extreme stress, what to do to help yourself. We have never been spoken about it. It's a new space altogether. And I understood this when I was myself going through it. And hence I feel it's a new space. The way we have learned trigonometry in life, mathematics in life, chemistry in life, sciences in life, we have learned it. It was new to us, right?
Very true.
The same thing we just need to learn. So you can learn it in the form of going to a therapist, or there are a lot of videos, lot of podcasts out there. You can listen to them also to start bringing in more self-awareness for yourself. Uh, go to a professional and talk to them. Attend few workshops and learn more about it. There are so many emotion regulation workshops that happen. So the point is for you to attend or try new things to learn this new space altogether, to learn about emotions, to learn about relationships, to learn about stress, to learn about anxiety, to learn about how to bring in a completion in your life, how to bring in that holistic well-being in your life.
So, what do you think how someone can start talking about these things to anyone? Let's say if I will go back now and try to talk to my father regarding these things, he will really be stressed as well. He will say, suddenly what happened to him?
Talk about what?
Talk about anything, what I'm feeling. Let's say I'm feeling depressed, or maybe I'm feeling struggling, So anything.
But why will we talk to them, Rishabh, is the point?
Exactly.
Because they're not trained to handle it.
Exactly.
It's like tomorrow, if I'm feeling a chronic disease, will I talk to my brother? No, I'll go to a doctor. So do what you need to do within yourself. But after a certain while, when you're not able to deal with it, go to a practitioner, go to a teacher, go to a counselor, go to somebody who can actually help you with the research is that, hey, this is what you can do and this can help yourself. You choose what you want to choose from there. But go to somebody to learn that part of your life, who can elevate and can help you to go from surviving to thriving. So go to somebody. But if I go to my dad and I start telling that, I'm feeling absolutely anxious, I'm feeling too stressed, I'm not able to sleep, rather they will start feeling tensed more. Now they will get stressed. Personally, they don't know how to handle this. If my kid is not feeling okay, बच्चा इतना दूर है मेरे, अरे it's okay, you feel you want to come here, I'll send you money, you come and you will go there also, you'll feel better also for a month. But again, you'll come back here, right? Eventually, we need to learn how to process it. बॉटम लाइन, चाहे वो हम उसको ट्रायल एंड एरर करके वी कैन लर्न इट इन नेक्स्ट 5, 10, 20 years, or you can actually go to somebody and learn it in 6 months and learn how to take care of yourself.
The reason I asked this question, I did not specifically ask from the father or parents' perspective. I said because when something is going out of way and we are trying to improve ourselves, the first thing came into the mind that, you know what, let's try to speak out loud with our friends within our circle because they are more able to connect with us. The only point is, I don't know about girls, but with men, we have like, "Abe tu," we have that kind of circle. So eventually we cannot talk within that circle as well.
Cannot, because we have been taught to be strong all the time. We have been told, अबे chill करना, अरे ये लेना, अरे सब ठीक हो जाएगा.
दारू पी ले ठीक हो जाएगा. आ चल बैठते हैं.
Okay. But the fact is, जो शायद तुम्हें advice दे रहे हैं, they themselves are going through some things they don't want to share. It takes a lot of courage, Rishabh. Lot of courage to sit in a room with somebody which is absolutely silent and somebody saying, share what are you not okay with. It takes a lot of courage.
Yes.
बहुत हिम्मत लगती है उसमें.
Okay. Last two questions now.
And to add to this point, let me tell you one more thing.
Please.
When you said the word men, of all the people who would come to me to discuss things and all, not more than 20% are men. Don't. Doesn't mean they're not suffering. But we have been taught to be strong all the time. How can I be weak and vulnerable? What will people think about me? I am this VP, I am that manager, I am this director. Doesn't matter, bro. Doesn't matter what you are and who you are. What matters is that if you're not okay, you're not okay. And we have not spoken about it, but eventually, if you speak about it, it will help you to start feeling better. You'll start doing better in your life, in your work, in your relationships. And you start feeling happier. So, the point is to come to a place and to process what's going on actually. Processing की बस ज़रूरत है.
Talking about relationship, I think we can have a whole different another 1 hour for that, which I'm not going to do right now. It will be unfair for me to ask you. But eventually, last two questions. Then I love to sit down with another time with you and have another topics discussed. These are my personal questions, these two. Number one, if you have only 24 hours of your life, what you will do in those last 24 hours?
You're asking me?
It's personally.
I will make sure my family is together in one room and we'll spend time together.
Okay.
That's it. That's what I will do.
Eventually spend time with family.
100%. Nothing else I will do.
Okay. And what will be the one advice you will give to your younger self so that they can thrive in life?
Exactly what I'm saying right now. If I have to go back to my younger self, I would learn about emotions. I would learn about how to take care of them. I would learn everything I can about relationships and about health and well-being. This is what I would do, which I think I started after the age of 20. And this is the first thing I would learn even before I'm learning ABC in today's life. Because this is what actually matters. That's what I feel.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Prashant bhai.
Thank you very
थोड़ा डीप चला गया पॉडकास्ट है ना तो माफी उसके लिए
much.
बट इट वाज रियली हेल्दी कन्वर्सेशन बाय द एंड ऑफ दिस कन्वर्सेशन आई कैन से वन थिंग आई हैवंट felt that connection for a while that I'm having with you right now.
Yeah.
So I can say that I'm speaking with my elder brother.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm speaking with a complete stranger. That is for sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Bhai. Thank you so much for creating this space for us to talk together about it.
Thank you very much, bhai.
Thank you, bhai. Thank you.